Greatly appreciate him being here. But games are about to get underway, and with that, the first one on the line is going to be Version 1 versus XSET. This is the former Stromboli roster, and Supersonic, this is actually your level of expertise, a team that I know you have a lot of opinions on.
Yeah, XSET or Stromboli, as I did know them before, was a team that had quite a run in the RLCS or in the RLRS in the last season. They were a team that gets out there. They were majority of the time controlling the air. They were a team that was up quick, and that was the way that they tried to beat you. They were midfield dominant and then really strong defensively. So they would look for that midfield opportunity, try and get that win, get that pass down, get the ball into a quick transitional goal, and then get back on defense. And it worked for them time and time again for until the back half. I don't think we saw them take a serious match or serious loss until like week 5, week 6, where a team came in with a game plan specifically for that. So I'm interested to see if that same game style is what they're going to be running for here again today.
Well, as you guys can see on the screen, this is the current bracket and what we're going to be looking at today. Obviously, first one up for us here at Version 1 broadcast is going to be versus XSET, as we're mentioning, and a lot of changes. But as a reiteration of what we talked about earlier, the 16 teams involved, 10 come from the RLCS, 6 come from the Rival Series. These guys are going to be battling week in and week out, trying to find out who is the best of the best. And after all those 9 weeks, not only do they get some cash, but they also have the chance to earn what are called grid points and an auto buy into the international major at the end of this season, or split as it's being called. So a lot of things on the line, but primarily I want to focus on the match that is supposed to be starting relatively soon here. And this is where we get into the nitty gritty, the actual analysis of what's breaking down. So Supersonic just gave us a lot of details about former Stromboli and now XSET, a fantastic team, and a team a lot of us considered to be one of those rosters that actually promoted from the Rival Series. They looked like they could have had it, but unfortunately it's not there. On the other side, we get Version 1, and our first iteration of them is going to be Torment, Gimmick, and AXB. As we jump into the action, it looks like we are live to go. So this is it, guys. We are underway here for the first week of the grid, and we appreciate you guys being here, but action already on board, and we see AXB almost passing it up midfield, bopping his teammate in the back, up into the corner here. AXB, a good 50, pries it in. And you can just see Gimmick's aggression just immediately pressuring in the front of that net, but then backing off and letting his teammate come in.
Yeah, Gimmick going to make an attempt for the ball there. Fortunately, just off. Alraz with a shot. Torment there, though, to block that one out. Nice to see these teams coming out and getting these attacks going early, trying to get it there, but Gimmick just short of getting the ball over and into the net.
Good patience here by Torment, and that's kind of been the difference maker. Is obviously a team in Cloud9 that's been together for so long, now having a different iteration. They have to find out what that playstyle is going to be, and one of the things we've been noticing is that Torment's involvement up on offense is almost reminiscent to what you got to see first. Obviously, that Season 6 performance, the MVP, moving up into the midfield, taking shots and being aggressive rather than the defensive rock we know he can be. So seeing a little bit more solo plays, as you see him take it out here. Not enough boost to bring it out, so it's going to fall back onto the defensive half. XP pops it over 1, getting a little bit of time with it. This brings it down to midfield, goes for the 50. Able to reach out, but Torment's already there waiting. Back and forth again we go. Settles in on XSET half. Gimmick trying to play this off the ceiling and down, but AXP is going to follow up behind. It settles into the corner. It's going to drop down. Torment there again. Great job of rotational play so far. Everybody able to read a 50. The big clear could be a dangerous option as Alpha kept in midfield waiting for a pass. It's going to be there and intercepted by AXB. The defense of Version 1 holds on.
Yeah, so far it looks like we are winning quite a majority of the midfield battles. We just got to figure out a way to kind of get some transitions through. AXB's been able to break through, but nobody else up to support yet. Really looking to see if we can get our second man up there and start getting some passing plays going.
Patience again in the corner could be dangerous as Alpha kept up top. A good job of getting and playing underneath. A good 50 by Gimmick allows them to play it the other way as well. But a lot of trades here and pretty common in game number 1 as these teams try to feel each other out. Big bump attempt on the defensive half. Nothing to worry about yet. Pass on the midfield. Shot from Torment. A little bit wide, but he's there for the follow-up. He's going to pop it up high. XP's up, and so is everybody else from XSET. Could be a pop opportunity, and it looks like Gimmick's going to take it solo. It looked like he had a pass to the top right side of the field that he could have capitalized on. He ends up taking it alone.
Yeah, I definitely think he had a moment there where, you got 3 up. Doesn't matter. Torment's going to do it all himself, bringing it off that left corner, comes off the back wall and just touches it in. Version1 going to go up here early.
You love to see it from Torment, man. A lot of people have been calling for his head about how he's supposed to get the boot and how he's been looking subpar, but I think he's actually being unleashed at this point. There's so much time that he has spent on defense because of the players on his roster. And that just isn't the case anymore in Rocket League. All 3 players need to be in consistent rotation. You see exactly why, able to win at 50 and then take it for a dunk on a Doomsday dish. He gets a goal. Version1 to strike first. Almost a dunk here. Need to be careful with the follow-up, and it's going to get in and out, and they bounced it out to make a save.
Whoa.
Hitting every single woodwork they can.
Sometimes it takes everybody on the team plus the posts. But as long as you get the ball cleared out, it's all that matters. At the end of the day, they got it out of there. They did what they needed to. But, I'd like it to come out off the first touch. I can't get my heart stopped like that.
Yeah, bro. They're just trying to make it entertaining for the audience, right? They know they're going to win. They're confident. We're confident. A little biased, and I'm okay with it. But they got to make it entertaining.
I am fully biased in this situation. I will go past a little bias. I will go full bias. What a touch. Gimmick gets it shot down the field. Alpha Cap has to actually make the play to stop that one.
All good pass plays in the offensive half again. Keeping defense for XSET on the field as they're trying to transition out. A lot of early challenges. This was a tough one. I just put out a power rankings video that was probably one of the more difficult things to do because this is the first time we're actually getting to see these teams play with stuff on the line. Obviously, we've had numerous community tournaments during the offseason. As Stormer going to try to go for a double tap. Unfortunately, he runs out of boost a little bit there on the adjustment. But we haven't had any RLCSX matches. We haven't had the grid. So this is the first time we get to see these guys play this season in an official setting. And I'm happy seeing what I am. A lot of pressure, a lot of follow-up as AXP puts in the second one here with 15 seconds, which should all but secure the first game. And this is a great-looking Version1 from what I've seen.
Yeah, they've had great spacing. There hasn't really been any double commit situations. They're covering the field that's allowing them to get into the midfield and win those midfield battles and keep pressure up. And they're converting these into goals. So it's definitely something, as you said, we didn't have a ton of looks at this team in the offseason. They were doing iteration after iteration as they went through players before finally settling, or I guess we're using the word settling again, not the way I mean it, but picking up AXB and deciding that was the guy to slot into the team. So it's cool to see this finally at this level and see them set and get going and start seeing the team cohesion come into play, which is clearly there already. We're seeing that from all 3 players. The pacing has been fantastic so far.
Yeah, I think it's a unique touch to kind of go with the approach in the sense that they had a longer offseason. Obviously, we had the season before was like a month and a half, so we didn't have much time to really figure it out. But the exciting thing was that because they had extended time, and credit to Fireburner, obviously the coach, he's been trying to figure out how they're going to change this iteration with the squishy change. So what is their approach going to be? And they don't rush it. And I want to give a lot of respect to that. Too many teams are like, this guy's available, we pick him up and we just deal with it. But they didn't. They waited until the last moment. We're going to try out Wonder Mike. We're going to try out Illusion. We're going to try Reddles. We're going to give so many different tastes until we feel that it's right. And they ended up going with AXB. And I think case in point, we're seeing exactly why here. No overlap, no double commits, really clean rotations, challenging the midfield, and essentially dictating the entire match. So I think it's a big credit to the coach and what they're trying to create over at V1. And this is just the beginning. So I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing. And that's even without the bias if I cover up my shirt. Like, I'm just genuinely happy to see that these guys have found a home and that they're being rewarded for it.
I'm also going to echo that, but I'm just going to pull this up a little bit more and the hat down a little bit more and show it off a bit more. I'm extrally happy with what we're seeing so far.
Contrast and everything.
Yeah,
contrast and everything.
Gotta play the opposite end of the field for that. We're on the same side, but not at the same side at the same time. I don't know what I'm saying here, but the pacing has been fantastic. Exactly what you said. It's been clean Rocket League. I'm not seeing any of them just trying to hero play or force things and try and create situations that they don't need to be there for. They're just playing clean rotational Rocket League and using their speed to win the midfield battles. And eventually that will cause errors on the defensive half of the other side and give you those opportunities to capitalize on.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. Obviously, many people, after seeing Cloud9 struggle a couple seasons ago, almost dropping into relegation until they had that bounce back. And then Season 9 obviously winning multiple, like 5 in a row. We didn't know what we were going to get. They had such an identity to them because their roster had been together for so long. As a clutch save here by Gimmick. They're just trying to form a new era here for Gimmick and Torment. And with that is the addition of AXB. Is a beautiful shot put away by the dominance of Gimmick.
I remember listening to an interview or Squishy answer like an AMA, and somebody asked him about Gimmick, and he's like, Gimmick's that guy that I just know is going to be there. He's like, I go up, I can do my thing, and I know that he's going to be there and support
well,
if I miss.
When you consume 90%
to,
of the boost on the field, I hope he's there.
Yeah, and that's what he does. He is that rock. When he's coming in as that secondary player, he's somebody that is you can depend on to be there. Even in tight situations where it looks like you may or may not be winning that, he has such a good read on his teammate on whether or not they're going to win that challenge, that he's in the right spot at the right time. And those hard reads really, I think, are a big part of his identity.
Oh yeah, he's a player as Gimmick where when he is feeling confident and he's, kind of vibing or, juicing as they feel it, the guy just makes the right decisions and he's a nuisance. He will be in your face offensive, defense, either way, and still has enough mechanical and rotational ability to get back around and be there for the shot. That's what he talks about with Squishy. Squishy was the setup guy. Gimmick was always there to receive the pass to put it away. And now that they have Torment also moving up to keep that rotation clean, it's really difficult to get a read on these players, and you're starting to see how well that's playing. Within a couple seconds, yes, they are on defense, right back on offense, putting some more pressure on. Good fake challenge here by Gimmick. Gonna try to reset off the ceiling. Instead, he's gonna fall down. As Torment comes across, trying to go for the read. Not a big deal. As it pinches over to Alpha Cap, who's gonna throw this possession away. Instead, going for a solo play. Easy save on one, and Torment plays it back into the corner. So V1 gonna be able to hold off here. Bounces into the corner up high, and already up is Torment, who plays it down to AXB. Counterattack play, something that has been involved with his team's identity for such a long time, and I'm glad to say it hasn't gone anywhere.
Super clean. Alpha kept going to try and bring this one himself. Looks like AXB's in position to go ahead and bring that one across the goal. He's going to hand that off to Gimmick as he brings it down for the challenge. Ends up losing that one to J-Pal, but Torment and AXB just swarming the ball. The speed and aggression that they are going for in midfield really seems like it may be a playstyle decision for this matchup. They are out there intentionally just every single time in that midfield so quick.
Yeah, obviously with these rival series teams, they prefer the chaos. They like the concept of making things weird, but benefits to the RLCS teams, they know how to punish on any mistake. So if they do find a way to get these guys to overcommit and draw them out, you can expect big counterattack opportunities, which I think is something that V1 is very good at. So again, utilizing the ability to play this up high expends a lot of boost if someone goes up for the challenge. And again, they continue to pressure. Would have been probably a goal there from Torment. Does get stopped out, so good pop on the defensive XSET. It's going to go off the backboard yet again.
100% agree with what you're saying there, and there is a little bit more chaos to that rival series teams versus what you see in the RLCS. One of the things that's interesting for me now is with the grid and the RLCSX is that these teams are all playing against each other. Gimmick with a good save there. They're now intermingled constantly, week in, week out. And I think that this version 1 that we're looking at, the great spacing, the coverage on the field, the no double commits, the clean Rocket League playstyle is what's going to allow you to counter and really take advantage of those mistakes from teams that are being that aggressive. AXB trying to get cheeky with it. Nice pass down from Gimmick. It is going to get broken up though, but I think that this playstyle actually is super beneficial to the new style of what RLCS is.
Well, at the same time, I'm looking at AXB trying to go for a turtle flick while he's upside down on a reset. I see him then go for a solo play where he tries to get a flip reset past another. When is the last time you saw AXB go for any of those things in his entirety of his career? And that's what excites me, as you're going to see V1 here try to put even more pressure on as the ball, as soon as it hits the ground, will put V1 at match point. But a lot of aggression here from XSET, and it's challenged away, and there it is. So now V1 on match point, 2-0 in the series.
Up 2-0 to start. I can't ask for much more, you know. As the biased caster that I am today, that's all I want. We're looking for the 3-0 sweep. We're trying to get in, get business done, and get out. Sweep these guys off the field, move on to the next one. And so far, it's exactly what we're doing.
Looking really good here for V1. Even though the matches are close, I don't think it really dictates and shows what's actually going down. V1 is doing a phenomenal job with being almost constantly on offense. Yes, they may give up a couple shots here or there, but ultimately it's a pretty easy save, nothing too threatening. They throw it into the corner, and then it's immediately back the other way. So I had obviously my concerns initially about V1 and how this was going to form, but the first time we got to see them, AXB had been on the roster for like 4 days, and that's not a whole lot of scrim time. So
Yeah.
now that we've had a couple weeks and we're kind of getting the grind going, we're going to have grid this week and next week, and then we've got RLCSX after that. This is a really good early foundation. I'm a huge fan of what I'm seeing right now, just from clean Rocket League. I don't have to worry about these guys jumping into each other or overlapping or and I hate to say it, Gimmick used to be kind of notorious for kind of overstaying his welcome. That seems to not be an issue right now. So I don't know what they're doing, but it's great.
No, Gimmick's getting out of there. And one of the other things where we can say that it's very clean Rocket League, I think I only saw one time where they double committed for a save on the goal line. I think Gimmick and Torment went up for upper 90 save, but immediately Torment landed on the inside, dropped down, took his position back in net, allowed Gimmick to go out and get the boost. They didn't both take off to get boosted. It was still immediately cleaned up. And it's really nice to see. I agree with you. The Gimmick used to be somebody that would kind of overstay, and I have not seen that. He's getting in, he's getting out, and he's doing what he needs to do to keep this play going.
Well, that is all she wrote so far. 2-0 and clean play here from V1, and what a statement it would be right out the gate to not drop a single game. Trying to see if they can close out the series here. Back on offense, XP with a pass in the midfield up to Gimmick, who comes across, talking about how a little bit ago, Jason, you said he's always there. You see it exactly why as he bombs it downfield. A little bit off target. J-Pal trying to get a read on it, but it doesn't matter. He gets eliminated and removed. And another one from Torment, just being absolute bullies. They want to assert this dominance. Easiest way to do so is take the player off the field altogether. And it just seems to be every single touch from XSET is a panicky one, just trying to get away from it as he throws it up and puts it down. Bardowski it in from AXB.
AXB getting it done here for version 1. Up in the air, off the pass from Gimmick, just right on the money. Bars down and in. Beautiful place shot from AXB. Nobody's getting back in time for that one.
Talked about how dangerous their counterattacks were. It's part of their identity. And some things do not change. Immediately dish downfield, but this time it's AXB on the offense. And to me, I don't know if you agree, that still feels kind of weird. Having AXB doing things like this, always safe from Alpha Kep. He could have had two.
Oh, God, the throws from Gimmick too are just so beautiful. He's doing it time and time again. That has to be the fourth one that he's done where the ball's coming down, he's shadowing the ball back to his own corner, picks up the corner boost, and just turns and bombs it diagonal across the field. And AXB has been up to try and make a shot or a play out of it each and every time.
You know, I've gotten to know a lot of these players relatively well, and one of those people is Chrome, AXB's former coach. And he talked about how AXB, always a talented player, extremely underrated, and has never really gotten to showcase because he's taken that third man role. And in a roster that is constantly trying to rotate and making sure that everybody gets involved, I think you finally get to see that from both Torment as well as AXB. And one thing that probably hasn't been talked about enough is because AXB and Torment have both played similar roles, chemistry-wise and fundamentally, they should understand how each other plays.
Yeah, 100%. I honestly feel like what we're watching is, this is going to sound weird, but we're watching three players that all play the 2.5-man role. Like, they're the second and third man, and everybody's in that position, and they're creating opportunities. Unfortunately, that one's going to come out. J-Pow going to put one in to tie it up here at just under the halfway mark in this game. AXB was trying to clear that down for Gimmick or Torment to come out and take a shot. Little dangerous and ends up converting into a goal for J-Pow. But we're watching a team that is set in being in that second and third man roles and really playing that clean, just Rocket League, which has been super beneficial other than, what, is that the first goal they've given up? I think it's the first time That's the first goal in the series, right?
I would have to double check. They might have given one up in game one, but it feels like it's been so long to where it might be the first one. I don't even know, but
Ooh.
it wasn't without trying to force it. Obviously, Torment had a really good save and unfortunately hit the post and went back mid. So we're going to give them a little bit of luck on that one. As version 1 here.
That's what we're going to call all goals against version 1. It's all luck.
Yeah.
Luck, 100% of the shots were luck. No skill involved. You know, AXB felt bad for you, so he threw the ball down, luckily, and you were there to get it. That's what we'll go with. That's the story. I'm sticking to it.
Well, this one could be dangerous as well, as unfortunately this clear out into the midfield. 2 players on defense. AXB throws this one mid, expecting someone like Gimmick to be there, but unfortunately they were both cheated up. Ends up getting played the other way. So transition back in favor of XSET as they're up 2-1 in this game, but still plenty of time left on the clock. Minute 31 here. Gimmick is going to approach the kickoff. Great on his end. Is going to settle one way. They play it down, and unfortunately both him and Torment do overlap a little bit. Is they're going to reset the field. Clean up these rotations. Gimmick above 1. Alraz is there, but AXB so quick to the ball, pinches it in top. And Torment able to follow up, gets challenged again for the 50. And the higher these go, the more boost is being expended. But Gimmick has other plans. He's going to bring this one all the way back and go for possession.
I really like the way that Gimmick plays this. The majority of the time, he's going to bring it back, and he does one of 2 things. He's either, one, going to shadow the ball back and do those passes that we see. Looks for a pass off the backboard here to Torment. Going to go high. Alpha Kep's going to be there to clear it away. Transitional goal possibility here, but wide, luckily. But he either brings it back out of the corner and bombs it out, or he'll just take it across the backboard. He's perfectly comfortable with just buying time just off the crossbar. Just a touch high there on that shot.
Well, usually it is game 3 where teams make their best adjustments. Trying to figure out and try to match the pace of version 1, who has been absolutely lights out so far. Torment with a good 50. He's going to play this across over to Gimmick. Does spot him there, but plenty of control on this one. Has the flip reset if he wants to go for it. But good defense from Alraz, able to push away. 10 seconds remaining, and final seconds and attempts here from V1, seeing if they can get a goal into the corner. A demo trying to come out from Torment. He ends up missing, but it kicks over to the side. They should be able to keep this up. It's going to feed into the midfield, and can anybody get there? No. Unfortunately here for V1, it is going to hit the ground, and XSET now gives himself 1 game in the series.
We're up 2-1. I'm not feeling too bad about it. You know, we got to give up 1 at some point. Production did go ahead and confirm that for us. We were correct. That was the first goal in the series. Unfortunately, this is going to be the first match in the series that we're going to give up. But we're about to go into the next game. You know, 40 seconds. They'll shake it out, turn it around, get a new game plan, and we'll get in there and take them out in the 4th.
Yeah,
no champions field for us.
Yeah, a lot of adjustments to take, obviously, but as I mentioned, game 3 is kind of the adjustment. Obviously, a team comes in with game plan, and because the game moves so fast, there's not really a whole lot of downtime to communicate and talk in the middle of a series. It does take a little bit to get used to it, and that's what it looks like XSET. Even though they were getting overwhelmed and still beat to a lot of challenges, they stopped going for things that were a little bit more characteristic, that chaos that we talked about, where they want to touch everything, and you're just getting beat to it anyway because Gimmick's so fast. So primarily, I actually want to give credit to AXB. Guy's looking nuts. Like, he's looking so good right now.
AXB is looking good, and you were talking about it, how he's going for that, you know, the upside down flip from the turtle position. He's going to make plays, and he's starting to look comfortable and feeling like he can go for some of these plays. And I really do want to see that out of him as time goes on. He really is going to be able to slot into that role if he can keep that up.
Well, we did see a couple passing plays work from Torment and Gimmick as well. Unfortunately, Gimmick's a little bit high. Could have been the tying goal. But wasn't able to find it as we jump here into game number 4. Again, as the series reminder, version 1 up 2-1 in the series. So they try to close this out so they can go on to play the winner of Envy and Charlotte Phoenix. What an exciting one that'll be.
So one of the field. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. One of the things that they can do, though, that we saw work against them, against this team when they were the Stromboli roster. Oh, Alrad's going to get one down and in there to kick it off 33 seconds in. One of the things that worked against them was infield passing because they get up so high and they cover the midfield a lot. So one of the things that we saw in Rivals that was working against them was going for that quick play, having somebody out around the 50 on the sidewall, quick shot up to him and let that guy put a shot out behind them, because they do get overly aggressive in that midfield position.
All 3 blocks in a row here by Gimmick. It's going to allow them to break out, and good effort as well by AXB. So it allows Gimmick to respawn and get back into the play. Normally don't recommend challenging backwards, but in this point, Gimmick in a really awkward position. You're going to need that help on the rotation back as AXB gets involved again. Seems like the communication is definitely coming together here for V1. Just trying to back each other out. Another challenge in the corner. It's going to go straight down. Could be an opportunity, and he puts it in.
There we go.
On a platter for AXB.
There we go. Those defensive rotations do break down from time to time here with on the side of XSET. And you can see the defender was coming out of the net, tried to make the turn and realized that he was out of position and the net was completely open. AXB is going to go in there and he's going to punish that each and every time.
Hey man, you can get it, and he's going to get another.
We love the help. We welcome the help.
The first goal was no assist. AXB just winning a 50. This one, yeah, Torment gets the assist, but in real reality, it's Alraz. Alraz with the own goal. AXB will take those any day of the week.
Yeah, we'll take that. I'm fine with it. You want to
take
help?
Those, man. We take those
every time. You could just bash him into your own goal all day for us, Alraz. We love it.
Well, just like in the series, the score is now 2-1. And if you guys are ever confused about that, it'll be linked in chat as well if you want to type !series for a little bit of help. Trying to deal with some stuff with the scoreboard to make sure it's all nice and shiny for y'all. And we'll do our best to update, but hopefully we won't have to after this one, because it'll mean that V1 has the victory. Because right now, 3:15 left on the clock, up by 1. Hopefully making it 2, but a good pinch on the corner. AXB's going to slow it down, buy his team some time, not forcing it. This is something that a lot of teams struggle with, is numerous times not having the game sense and the awareness, but it's not going to matter. Gimmick there when you need him most.
Oh, the 50 here from AXB coming off the ceiling to make this possible. All 3 players on XSET out in that corner, having to try and shadow defend that close to the line is disastrous, and we punish those. We punish them.
Off to kick off. Extremely aggressive from XSET, but AXB doing a good job. A little bit more patient on the touch. Allows it to go above him so he can pop it further downfield. Line version 1 again on offense. Sounding like a broken recorder at this point. With how much I've had to say these guys have been up there. It's a good problem to have. It's played down. Gimmick's going to play this all the way across, and nobody there yet, so you're seeing the bump on the back end. Ends up getting a touch on it as well. The Gimmick, who plays at midfield for Torment. A little bit too low, so he's not able to get the pass, but AXB's got to be careful. One trying to go for the demo, him also on offense. Touch in front of the net, and he's going to settle it and actually get a great trap on it. And rather than panicking, he's able to fend it off. So now again, V1 on defense is going to kick to mid, and AXB's just going to boom this one down the other way. Taking care of any of the pressure. You've got Torment on the corner. Great 50 up top, but nobody's there for the follow-up. They back off and are going to put it again right back into the midfield and immediately putting a shot on target. Pressure one after another as every single member of the team just flying in, trying to get a touch. Unfortunately, none of them in the back of the net. XB's patience again, a pass into the midfield and wide open for Torment. Just making work happen.
XSET's starting to look a bit desperate here as they are just out of the box. Everybody forward. Alpha Cap just took off to the right side. Don't know where he was going. Doesn't look like he was going for boost. I'm not quite sure what he was after, but I like it. By all means, open up the net to us. But they're starting to get really just kind of overcommitting here time and time again. They're trying to speed up because they've got to make these desperation plays. And if we can keep up with this just solid rotational play, we're going to continue to get these free goals.
XB, that methodical play style, reading him like a book, not afraid to slow it down or play it high. He does get it past one on offense, and of course Gimmick there to follow it up as well, but Torment comes flying in and pushes it away. Make it 5.
Up 4-1 in the 4th. Currently the series is 2-1 in favor of version 1. Looking like we're going to seal the deal here in game 4 and end this 3-1 over XSET.
You guys are all worrying about the series score, but does it really matter when we're winning like this? V1, another one put away, and that, to me, brings back memories. Torment coming in aggressive with no hesitation as the third man to do what Fireburner taught him best. Be that golden striker. Give us the accolade. As he throws it down here, they do find themselves on defense, but a good block from Gimmick's going to bring it the other way. With only 1 minute remaining, V1 in a fantastic spot to close this one out. J Powell just struggling, doesn't even know where to go with it. As like sharks, everybody on this team of V1 just waiting for them to make a mistake so they can punish.
Ooh, AXB barely getting back for that one. Looked like we were overcommitted for a second there, but luckily that speedy little guy is going to get out there and save that one away. I don't think it really matters at this point. 30 seconds on the clock, over 4. Great dunk, can't finish. Torment looking for it. We wanted it, just not able to get it done.
It's just great Rocket League coming out from V1, biased or not. Just feeling so comfortable as they go up against here. Excited to see who they're going to be playing next, because I can say with confidence, as we count down the last 5 seconds of this game, that is going to close it out in this best of 5. V1 again, holding XSET to only 3 goals in the entire series. If this one hits the ground, and it will. V1 3-1 over XSET. They move on to play the winners, Charlotte, Phoenix, and Envy.
I do believe on that side, I'm trying to get a look at it right now. I think most likely we are playing Envy. Waiting to see the update.
So.
That would be my guess out of those two. I would assume Envy took down Charlotte Phoenix, but
yes, it is Envy.
Yep.
I can confirm. So that is a big matchup. That is a very big matchup with a lot of questions that are going to be answered in it, but focusing still on this one and kind of what went right other than just about everything. What are your Supersonic, your key takeaways of things that we're getting with this new V1 roster?
One, the spacing. I continue to talk about it. Their rotation is clean. There's very few times where we saw double commit situations or situations where they didn't have people back. As we got farther into that series, we started getting more confident. We started giving up a little bit of the ground in the backfield. We need to clean that up just a bit. I liked what we saw in games 1 and 2. That was just super clean rotational play. And that's really the takeaway. We saw AXB start getting comfortable and going for some plays and getting fancy with it. And he had some great 50s coming down off the ceiling to open up that goal. But I think the key takeaway is this is a team that can play perfect rotational Rocket League and let that other team make the mistake and then pounce and punish that mistake when it comes up.
Yeah, prime example was that last goal by Torment that we got to see, and you can see it here. Everybody getting involved across the board, but the big one, AXB up on offense. I didn't know the day I was going to see it, but I'm glad I am. These passes that are being dished up high, and then you're getting to see some of those mechanics that you normally don't get from him. You know, going for those double touches or self passes off the ceiling, but he's not afraid to also cut rotation when he recognizes the benefit. You saw that challenge in the top right where he won the 50, and a player made a mistake, and rather than rotating out, he immediately turns back in with confidence to go and put it away. So I'm glad we're seeing a different era of what we have seen this team do in the past. Obviously, the addition of AXB has been very welcoming, and you can see exactly why here. 5 goals, 2 assists, and 5 saves. Probably my MVP of the game, but quite honestly, everybody getting involved and deserving the credit.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things to talk about is we saw that defensive cut from AXB too, where the communications, that's something that I think is a great takeaway. The communications there. There was a moment where that shot was coming. Gimmick was very awkward getting back into the net, was having to try and turn in time, which was going to open up a huge 2/3 of the net on that right side. And AXB made the cut in front of him while he was rotating back to put it into that sidewall. And not just put it into the corner, but not just put it into the corner, put it into the corner hard so that Gimmick could come straight out of the net and bomb that ball downfield and try to make a play on it. So he's making an immediate cut, but still turning that into a playable ball for the teammates. So I think the communication's been really solid so far.
Yeah, and last but not least, obviously, some things never change. Torment on defense, 8 saves, leading the team. You got to have that brick wall sometimes, and Torment continues to show that. So everybody getting involved wherever they can. But overall, I guess any things that you think this leads into, obviously, we're going to kind of switch the focus moving towards Envy, knowing that they're up next to kind of give us a little early preview. And that's what I want to focus on before we jump into it is obviously Envy is a different beast. They've got a 4-time world champion on their team. They've got a really aggressive and really mechanical squad backing that. Probably one of the best mechanical players in what I consider all of Rocket League when it comes to the positional style while matched with the offensive prowess that you see in someone like Miss. Very keen on his play style, but AXB is also someone that kind of fits that bill and has some familiarity with them. So I guess for you, what kind of things do you want to see continue despite the efforts are going to come from Envy?
I think one of the things that you can do to kind of mess with Envy is really like Turbo's playstyle is his positioning is second to none. I mean, he is a
Right.
positional god in the world of, for lack of better term, within the world of Rocket League. I think that if you can get aggressive with him and you can bump him and get him uncomfortable, remove him and not allow him to make use of that positioning, if you come by and you see him and he happens to be, kind of in an arm's length, give him a little love. Let him know you're there. Mess with him a little bit, get him uncomfortable. If you can do that, that starts taking that rock out of that rotation and you can mess with their rotation. He's going to be very key. His positioning is going to be super key to that team because he's somebody that likes to get up the field too and be placed for a pass in the midfield already on the sidewall. He likes to make those styles of plays. So I think if you can mess that up, that opens up some plays for us against NB.
Hey man, well I'm pretty hyped. 3-1 victory in our first game, but rather than me showing how hype we can be, why not show you guys a special video to show that hype instead? Let's take a look. Again, guys, welcome back here. Obviously, this is version one's broadcasting coverage of the grid in week number one. Lawler as your host, alongside Supersonic, joining me in the broadcast booth. And I've got to say it, man, like the graphics and stuff that they're pumping out are like pretty dope. Like,
I
dude,
dude, I
the
I
like the blueprint stuff and like the fade with the knee. Oh, it's so clean. Love it.
I
Absolutely love it.
I'm I mean, I told you immediately yesterday, and anybody else I was kind of hanging out with when I saw
Yeah.
that kind of like hype reel video for them, and just the stylistic that the style that they
Oh,
went
even
for
like
is
with the
so
garage
so
walkthrough and
good.
stuff, man. So
Yeah,
cool.
the attention to detail is just next level. And then I also love that it builds up, and then that the team play at the end for that video after seeing what we just saw, that's that's the version one we're watching.
That's
So
the
I
that's the
think it
former Cloud
closes it
Nine
out
that I know.
perfectly.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm punching my mic, you guys. That's how happy I am. No, it's awesome to see that it's developing and translating even more so into a new roster. It just shows the talent of all these players. But rather than kind of just hearing us talk about it, we got a little bit of downtime here before we go into the next game. I'm actually curious about what chat has to say. So I'm going to pose a question to you guys in chat. Um, Out of curiosity, and Supersonic, I think we'll get you a question too, because I want you to be involved in here too. It's not just me.
Oh, thank you.
I want to
So
know,
kind.
what is your guys' favorite moment from last series? Was there one particular thing that you guys saw where like, yeah, I like that. Like, give me more of that. What's something that you guys are looking forward to see if they can recreate? We have to. This
Uh,
the only downfall of this is you and I have to talk a little bit while they kind of
yeah.
answer. But like,
Yeah. I mean, we can go through. I mean, for me on my end, uh I I loved that challenge from AXB, the off the ceiling coming down, maintaining the flip, knowing that he's not going to get to the ball in time, ends up saving the flip all the way until he gets to the ground to get a perfect 50
yeah,
to just dead stop that ball in that situation. That that opened up a goal, and I just think that that was a great moment of showing that he can adapt to that situation. He doesn't have to just make the shot when things go wrong. He's out of the play. He maintained his presence of mind and still turned that into something, and we converted on it.
we're actually getting a lot of unique responses. Gimmicks pass, rotations are clean, AXB's confidence. And I think I might have to agree with Chad on that one. There's a lot of people talking about AXB. I obviously we have this association to how he plays because he was on Space Station for so long and kind of took the back wheel. But the fact that you're seeing him read a pass from the back left corner, top of the net, and just drops it and drills it bar down, like things like that not only remind me of old chemistry from these players, but also a new iteration that still is there. So I'm a big fan of that. I agree with you guys on a lot of these. Torment going for offense and flip resets. Alvarez's own goal. Little savage there, but I like it. That's what we love to see, a little bit
I'll
of
take it.
banter. But
We do. We love seeing those. We appreciate it.
hey man,
Alvarez, sometimes you need a fourth man on the field.
yeah,
Alvarez is
most
solid
importantly,
fourth.
guys. Most importantly, guys, we appreciate you guys are being here and taking the time to come and hang out with us. And with that said, obviously V1 is a brand new organization and kind of some new socials and everything else. So if you guys haven't already, I'm sure there's links in chat, but otherwise make sure you guys check out the socials on everything. Make sure you guys follow the Twitch channel, as a lot of this content is going to be continuing. You can find it at Version1 GG across the board. But with that said, as we get into it, something that's on that board is the schedule, and an interesting kickoff that we will gladly take. Again, we take those.
We 100% take those. Nice cheat up. We're going to go ahead and have a weird bouncer off the start. Just cut him off and put it in.
It's too easy.
Up 1-0, 4 seconds in. Easy games, guys.
Everybody in chat's like, yo, man, AXB's aggression and confidence. I love it. It's sick. Comes in off the kickoff, wins pass one, and then gets another and gets a goal for it. Let's go.
Immediately on this one, AXB going to try and bring it out of the corner into the midfield. Going to have to drop it onto the nose of Turbo Pulse. A little bit of a double commit situation for us there, but Gimmick going to be that one to get up, knowing that Torment's going to be going for the net. So great play there. Missed. Going to bomb one into our lower 90 off that sidewall. They're going to get one back on us.
Yeah, tough one for Torment here. Those are the ones that you want to play a little bit more methodically in the corner. He had to jump off that back wall, so he was just trying to put power and see if he could get that downfield, but ended up popping out far enough. And something that we got to be careful of against the NV squad is this is a team that will punish for any little mistakes. Very quick, very aggressive, and like to play the same play style. It's going to come down to who does it better, and a lot of questions about the NV roster in general is what iteration are we going to see? Are we going to see the team that saw the ability to compete against what many consider the best team in NRG, who I heard got swept by Sonics earlier today, which...
Wait, what?
That and it's yeah, that reaction's perfect.
Talking, I'm gonna go look into that for a second here.
Yeah, today's been crazy. What's not crazy is the fact that V1 is winning. We'd love to see it. We have that expectation here, and they're doing well. But tied game.
They did.
It actually happened, man. It's been a wild day here of Rocket League, and a whole lot more to go. It's unfortunately a fantastic 50 here in the midfield. This is a tough one. You're in a 1v2. You're trying to avoid a demo. There's one coming off the backboard. You can see Atomic there on the backside.
Yeah, I'm back
with the help.
At that. It looks like it was close series. 3-2, 2-1, 3-2. So it was a close series all the way through, but they did get swept by the Sonics. So that'll be an interesting series to go back and watch later today.
We're looking up here. V1 on the back end is going to pinch over to the corner. So a couple early mistakes from both sides. It's turned into a very aggressive series, and you can just see the speed at which they're playing as a pass play dished up to miss. Luckily, no power on it. Should make an easy clear down to Gimmick. Not going to be able to wait on these, and this is going to be that adjustment. After playing XSET, obviously a little bit different approach. Obviously, these teams both coming in with some motivation and some momentum, but having to make the adjustment to a new play style. And that's kind of the tough thing about the grid that we don't really get to talk about. It's something that a lot of these teams just aren't used to compared to previous seasons in the RLCS, where you play maybe 2 matches a day, one at the beginning, one at the end. Now these guys are playing back-to-back series. And if they keep winning, they keep playing. So getting ready to adjust and be able to kind of go through this gauntlet day in and day out. It's going to take a little bit of a getting used to.
There's quite a few players that have mentioned that they do like this format a bit better. There's, some guys that have talked about being able to play events back to back where you have to stay in form rather than kind of coming out of it. It's gonna force these guys to have to play at that top level day in and day out. And I think the growth that we see in individual players, and that one's opened up. Torment gets in there to finish it off. See, I didn't see who it was that touched it here. AXB, what a touch to get it up onto that bar, and Torment gonna punish miss for that miss.
Hey man, 2s across the board as we tie up the game in our first game of the series. And yeah, AXB just being there, right place, right time, and making a fantastic touch off that backboard. Talk about how the best pass is a bad shot. You see exactly why there. It was a good shot, played it top right, but ends up just falling into the lap of his teammates. So again, as we're seeing as some of the community members in chat, aggression versus aggression, you're going to get a lot of that this series, where teams that just want to play really fast, and it's going to come down to, in my honest opinion, what AXB did so well against XSET last series is the ability to be confident to slow it down, that methodical style and a different approach to make them respect your touches is what is going to open up some of these opportunities, and hopefully we get to see some of those solo plays from Torment, something that makes these players have to commit and utilize some of that boost so the rotations aren't as clean. I know you also mentioned Torment being awkward. What's your take so far? Has it been awkward on him as he gets removed from the play here? What a great timing, and almost like I drew it up myself.
Torment gonna bring this one out and across. AXB once again up in a hurry, knows it's coming, and just perfect placement in that lower 90. It skims the post as it comes in.
It's just a great pass into the midfield, and then the follow-up after. A lot of people want to rotate out in those situations, but Torment just commits to it. He knows they've got a goalie back in the 4-time world champion Turbo Pulsa, and pretty easy to make a goal when nobody's there to save it. Big demo out. And over into the midfield, a flick here from Gimmick, trying to keep in possession. Ends up getting blasted the other way, and we talk about how fast this game can move. Just like that, it kind of pinballs its way down the other way. And what could be a dangerous opportunity, and Atomic's going to get a goal for it.
No, they take them. I just get completely lost. I looked across to see the update on the score, and I looked back, and I just assumed that we were the ones scoring the goal. I just, it's where my brain goes. Unfortunately, we're going to get tied up, though, off of Atomic.
Atomic, couple good efforts here, able to kind of slow down. I talked about that methodical play, something that we saw from AXB last series. We saw Atomic do break checks the first touch, and then able to get a bump on that last defender to open it up. But team play on both sides, and a very neutral game here. As it is 3-3, just under a minute left. Off the backboard, already pre-jumped his AXB. He's been absolutely wicked fast today. It's a big clear from your pass to a double commit, and let's punish it for him.
Is that a
wide open
commit?
net. We take those two.
Where's the third? Envy, what are you doing? Keep doing it, though. Yeah, I'm not sure where their third man was, but they got everybody on that pass as it comes up and over, and Torment there to finish.
.38 seconds remain. V1 up by 1. Played into the midfield. Couple good pass plays, and there's that hesitation I'm talking about, and he gets rewarded for it. Just makes it look so easy. Break this one down for us, Supersonic.
He slows it down here. We were talking about that. Slows down last second, gets him bit, gives it a moment, waits till he can bait in Turbo to go up, and immediately gets up and just puts it out ahead of him where he can't get to it. In a little wide on the shot, but ends up being a self-pass, gets it on the other side. So AXB, with just the control that you need to bait in the players and get it around, open up that net for himself.
Real talk, chat. We knew AXB was good, hence being in the RLCS, but did you guys think he was capable of these types of things? Because honestly,
I think he's
I'll admit
thriving
to it.
right now.
I've watched a lot of his gameplay, but I have never seen him have the freedom to do things like this, and I love it.
Yeah, I think he's thriving in this role. This is maybe the spot in the role that he should have been in all along. At the very least, we've got him at the right time because he is slotting in perfectly. 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 saves, 4 shots. Absolute all-star as he crushed that match for us.
Hey, man, when you get brought on a new roster, you got a lot to prove. And more importantly, trying to prove to that old team saying, hey, man, like, you made a mistake letting me go. And you see it here, AXB leading the charge for his team. And obviously a lot of that credit does go to his teammates as well, helping set him up. It is a true team effort here, but focusing on those individual efforts. I mean, chat was talking about it in the question that I proposed to them, but those slow, methodical plays. He takes a break check, and you see that last defender go flying the other way. So just saying, AXB, you're killing it right now, and keep it up.